Welcome to the MMA podcast. I'm Karyn Bryant.
And I'm Pete Cummins.
And we know you missed us. We're sorry. Pete was busy. Nice face.
Yeah, Karyn, this last month gave me the opportunity to do some of the good work I do throughout the world, building wells and schools and.
You told me you were in Chatsworth.
Yeah,
Chatsworth.
No, my goodness. At any rate, we are going to talk about UFC Sao Paulo. We'll talk about the Bellator show that went down. Also, what's going on in High Five?
High Five, Karyn. Well, Ronda Rousey is going to be in the remake of the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse movie. So, Karyn, we're going to play a little game called Cast the UFC Stars.
Okay.
So you're going to be a casting director, and
lay down, son.
And you're going to cast a couple movies.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a home play.
The Hollywood casting couch. Kidding.
This is our casting desk, Karyn. Not quite as comfortable as the couch, but
yeah. No, so good times. I was at work the other day at Fox for the Sao Paulo show. It was exciting. There were some good things and some bad things that happened with that show. So we'll get into that. But in general, your Halloween was good too? We've been gone a little while. Your Halloween was good?
I noticed you didn't even comment on my new shirt.
Did you get a new podcast shirt?
Well, as you know, I usually wear a black shirt, and now I've switched to a charcoal gray.
See, because it really just reminds me of the black shirt that's been laundered so many times that it just looks charcoal gray.
No, I actually couldn't find it this morning.
You couldn't use
That's what happens. I've done nothing the past month but managed to lose my my podcast shirt.
Really?
No. Halloween was good. My kids' soccer team sucks.
Yeah, you're like 0-20, right?
If we had played 20 games, we would be 0-20. We played 8, we're 0-8.
Oh, that sucks.
Our closest game was a 3-0 loss.
Oh.
I'm not the coach.
Oh, well, transitioning from that 3-0 loss to a 2-1 lead, Vitor Belfort now has the bragging rights in the fight with Dan Henderson. He was victorious the other night at UFC Sao Paulo. First round KO. Vitor, the first time they met, basically like 10 years ago, he lost. And Dan really controlled the ground fight the first time, and Vitor really didn't have anything for him, and he lost. The second time out, he laid out Dan. He got him with a nice punch and then ended it with the shin to the face. And this time came out and shut him down with punches as well. And, now on UFC tonight, I have to do a DraftKings lineup now, which is hard. But I picked Vitor. It was tricky because I love Dan Henderson. Right. Going into this fight, you're looking at him, Vitor was a favorite, but just when you think Dan's done, he's not. You know what I mean? Like, he'll knock somebody out when you think he shouldn't. So it was hard to choose on that one, but I did think if Vitor did it, he would do it quickly and kind of blitz him and blast him. And basically that's what he did. They were feeling each other out for a while, but then when the time came to strike, he was all over it.
First shot.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan threw two leg kicks, but for 2 minutes they just filled each other out. And then Vitor saw his opening and first shot.
Well, that's the same thing that happened.
Very economical.
Yes, when Vitor and Anderson...
He's like a hybrid.
Is that right? When Vitor and Anderson fought, there was a lot of feeling out, and then we knew exactly what happened on that one. Anderson's foot felt out Vitor's face, and Vitor got laid out. But yeah, if we're looking at the statistics here, there was one knockdown. Vitor threw 6 total strikes to Dan's 3. All 6 of Vitor's were significant, as were Dan's. But, what? What's that face?
Dan had 3 significant strikes?
It said 3 strikes.
Dude, he had like 2 leg kicks. I mean, is a leg kick considered a significant strike?
Oh yeah, depending on where you landed and stuff. I mean, it's.
They were pretty non-effective. So what's a non-significant
it's a leg strike over here. Dan, all the Dan's 100%. He had 3 leg strikes there.
So what's a non-significant strike?
Well, like if you hit me and it kind of lands on my arm, and like if I kind of block it here, well, it's head, body, leg.
All right.
So if you punch me in my foot, that doesn't count.
I think the fight was stopped too soon.
No,
I'm gonna say
you're wrong. Well, I think you're wrong, but go ahead. Tell us why, Pete.
Well, because you've opened it up to.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Tell me why Dan Henderson should have.
He was still he was still putting up an effort. Vitor came down. He missed his big punch. Dan had him close. He wasn't going to get a big punch again. I think it should have gone on a little bit.
Except you're missing the part where Vitor clocked him, Dan's arms went stiff, then he got hit again and woke up, and then was back in the fight. He was out. I hate to tell you, because I love Dan Henderson as well. We all do. All of our hearts hurt. All of our hearts hurt.
Just going to say, Karyn, let's agree to disagree.
But you're wrong. He was laid out, went kind of limp for a second, and I believe got woken up with the next punch. But
got woken up.
But dude, once you're out, the ref was right there. You're out. It's Dan Henderson. So you want a 45-year-old man to get more hits to the head. That's what you would like.
That's pretty much my MO.
You would like a 45-year-old man to take another.
In a perfect world, I would have a 73-year-old man just get clobbered.
Wailed on.
But enough about my father. No.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
No.
It's sad, actually, because it's true.
No, I'm totally kidding, by the way. Not like he'll ever watch this podcast.
He doesn't watch it.
No, but
he doesn't support anything you do. That's the point.
Dude, Karyn, what are you
kidding? It's a joke.
Dad, if this is the podcast you watch, we're completely joking here.
Totally joking, Mr. Cummings.
Like, I saw your podcast
it's the other day. Now you're working with that negress girl, right?
Yes, because
never met your dad. He's gonna love me.
But he.
So Vitor said. After the fight, my strategy from the start was to start slow. He was expecting an intense Vitor from the bidding, so I waited for the right moment, had patience. That was my mistake in the last fight. I did not have patience as I did now. And Dan Henderson's quote after the fight is, "I screwed up." That's my quote for you. I screwed up. But, to his credit, Dan posted a picture celebrating on the beach in Brazil. He's like, hey, why not? Life is still good. Right. So that's what you got to love about that guy. But I don't think he needed to keep taking punches.
No, but I don't.
The end around one.
He wasn't.
Here's what I will say to this, Pete. I believe you that Dan could have been out, woken up, and kept fighting. I agree with you that Dan could have and probably was like, screw it, I'll just keep going. Like if it hadn't been stopped then. Right. But I don't think he should have kept fighting.
He was moving when it was stopped. He was.
I know, but he started to single leg the ref. That's what happens sometimes when these guys get taken out. They wake up and they realize that they're starting to put a clinch in on the ref. They're not really fully awake yet.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be like obnoxious. That just, it happens. You see it a lot, actually. So anyway.
Hey, listen, we have to, fill 5 minutes of commentary for a 2-minute fight.
True, that's true.
I gotta play I gotta do the whole father thing. We gotta do the whole,
All right, time for round 2 then. The co-main event: Glover Teixeira versus Patrick Cummins. What did you think about this one, Pete? Should Patrick Cummins have had his head get blasted for another, 20 minutes or something? I mean, what would you have liked in this one?
I think it was stopped appropriately, Karyn. However, I will say that any time you get a standing TKO, you are one tough mofo.
Yeah, totally.
The shots that he was taking,
right?
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, no, that one was stopped. Those were all, he was taking things with bad intentions.
Right. That's when you're almost too tough for your own good. Yeah. Like literally, we're all screaming like, "It's cool, Pat. Like it's cool. You can. We're good. You don't need to keep going right now because look, so painful. And for some reason, we know Glover always has heavy hands. They seemed especially anvil-like.
He's got that 1-2 combination, that straight right left hook, which is just like. And then he was doing. And then he was leading with a right uppercut, and he looked great.
He did. The thing about Glover is, he's not the fastest man anymore. It's not like you don't necessarily know what's coming, but still they get through. And there was a few times where Pat's right there, you know what I mean? It's it just seemed so brutally painful.
And and also Pat did great on the takedown, but Glover immediately got up from all of them, and it was what are you going to do with it?
Yeah, and Glover, people say, Phil Davis really controlled Glover and his wrestling sucks. His wrestling doesn't suck, okay? Right. Glover used to wrestle. He was part of Chuck Liddell's team and everything. Glover can wrestle. It's not that he can't. He had a terrible weight cut before that fight with Phil Davis. And so here's the thing, some people are like, I don't know if Glover will ever make it, back to the top. I don't know. He was ranked number 4 going into this fight. Patrick was ranked number 9. There's interesting things going on. Obviously, we know John Jones is going to be coming back, and DC will fight him. Rashad Evans just lost a fight. Usually, you don't want to do winners with losers. There's Gustafson. I don't know if Gus and Glover would fight, but we were just like, oh my God, like the violence, the violence in that. But the other thing too is that remember, that was Patrick Cummins' 11th fight. That was Glover's 28th. And so it's just an experience thing. Like if you're a guy like Pat Cummins, I don't think it's a huge setback for you. I think it's a learning experience for you. And maybe he should concentrate on the stand-up game a little bit more, a little offense or a little more defense or something like that. Because Glover, that's the thing. Everybody knows what Glover is good at, and he did exactly what he's good at. And it was sort of like he knew it was coming. I was like, oh shoot! Well, but it's even more painful.
I mean, Patrick Cummins did what he was good at, but Glover got up every time. Yeah. So he's also got to work on his ground game, I guess. Right. I mean, but it's funny what you were saying about sometimes you can be too tough for your own good.
Right.
So I was, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something, was like going to run this 3K race.
Really?
And my wife starts getting all worried. She's like, you don't run. You got to be really careful. And like I finally said, honey, I got much more quit in me than that. I'm not going to be the guy who's like, I'm running through the pain and then I get a heart attack. I'm going to be the guy who, if I feel one little stitch, I'm out. I'm walking. So,
Did you in fact run?
I did, and I did in fact walk a couple times. So, I just want you to know, too, Karyn, that I will always quit before I put myself in trouble.
Thank you. I respect that. It's the stand-up thing.
Even on this podcast, if I feel a little bit, wait, the heart rate, I got to take a moment.
So after the fight, Glover said that was the plan, to knock him out in the second round. Patrick is a really tough guy to knock out. He took hard shots in his previous fights, but I knew that with patience, waiting for the right time, that I would win. And Patrick Cummins just said, I would just like to say congratulations to Glover. He fought a good fight and he was better than me today. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. So yeah, Glover Teixeira here, getting the TKO at 1 minute 12 seconds of round 2 there. So 59 total strikes, 54 of those significant strikes. So he was very economical with what he threw, and that's the thing about Glover. Yeah, it's tactical, it's brutal.
But it's the heavy hands.
It's anvils.
Heavy hands.
Yeah, and the thing what's great about him too is when you see him outside of the octagon, beaming, greatest smile, friendliest, sweetest guy, but you're just like, dude, I don't want any part of that. So good on you for Glover. Nice to see him doing well. He's a good guy. So I just don't run. I don't. Every fighter, obviously, like I was talking to Holly Holm about it the other day. I was like, do I really have to run to drop the weight? She's like, she said, well, I like to eat, so I have to run. She's not one of those people who she'd rather eat and work it off than to like have a hyper-controlled diet and stuff like that. But she was like, well, you don't have to run necessarily. You just have to do whatever you like, but just do it a lot. But from everything I hear, running is how you got to get the weight off. If you're getting weight off, it's running.
Well, what screws me too is like when you watch like a movie like Rocky, it makes running sound fun because it's like dun, 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 and then you actually go out to do it yourself and it's like
it's like thump, 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 thump. Yeah, I don't have.
I'm not smooth.
No, and I'm
like a gazelle with hip surgery.
Right.
Like there's a little bit weird gait.
I'm more of a built for a power. I'm more of like a power person than a go run for 10 days kind of person. Well, at any rate, round 3. Speaking of power, Thomas Almeida, for a bantamweight, pretty much turned it up in his fight with Anthony Burchak. Going into this fight, he's 24 years old. He's undefeated, 20-0, and Burchak was saying a lot of stuff about him. He's like, well, he's got this record, but, I've fought tougher competition. A lot of the people that he's beaten aren't that good. I don't think he can handle my pressure. He's not good backing up. And, I'm going to stick it to him and show everybody that, this prospect that everybody's hyping up, maybe he's not as good. Well, he is. Anywho, he's legit. Like Thomas Almeida, and it's funny because all week long, Kenny Florian has been hyping him. He's a real big Almeida fan and has had a lot of really nice things to say about it. So, but we all were like, well, Kenny, now it's on you. Like, we all bought into what you said about how good this guy is, and obviously I've seen some of his fights too. But anyway, gets the knockout, 4 minutes and 24 seconds of the first round. But you could see him, he wobbled him a little bit at first, right? And then Bergerac kind of got it back together again. But then he got pushed up against the fence. We get a spinning back elbow.
And then just like the splayed out.
Painful.
The splay. I mean, that was not stopped too soon.
No.
See?
No.
That is,
no.
There you go.
Bergerac just crumpled. So, obviously, that was an incredible win for Thomas Almeida. And, the bantamweight division is exciting. My buddy Dominic.
He's ranked 8. Well, he was ranked 8 coming in.
Right.
I mean,
it's good.
Going to be a fun.
Exactly. So we were talking about who he could fight. Maybe Brian Caraway. Maybe Aljamain Sterling. Maybe 2 fights from now he could take on. Uriah. If Uriah decides that if he would fight at bantam and stuff, he's kind of in and out. But it's a fun division. Dominic and TJ are fighting in January, and I like this guy, and I think Bergerac is good too.
Right.
This time he lost, but I think he's got a pretty decent future ahead of him as well. So that was, you enjoyed that.
I did enjoy it.
How'd you feel about Gleison Tibau tapping out Abel Trujillo?
Well, first of all, let's take nothing away from Gleison Tibau.
Yeah.
That was a rest mistake. That's taking nothing away from him.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the guy had his eyes shut for a second, and then the ref, called it. I mean,
yeah. So Gleison,
he didn't, he didn't test an arm.
Exactly. Gleison was all over him right from the beginning. So yeah, like you said, good for him. But the problem was, he was down here, and we were talking about this on the show too. What's happening here is you can see that Abel is actually starting to get his left shoulder down, and he's starting to turn into the choke, which is what he's supposed to be doing.
Right.
Gets his arm out, it's kind of positioning, and like you said, the ref doesn't check on that, and then. I think what happened too is he had space, because we were talking about, like, if his ear is that far under, like, he's got space here now. He's got breathing room.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to slip it.
Exactly. So. That's the problem there. And so, it's tough because Gleison gets the win, but he even said he knew that he didn't tap, and he knows that, it counts, but it doesn't really count. He says, Gleison said after, I'm really happy. Tonight I completed 26 bouts in the UFC, which is amazing. 17 wins. I can't wait to break the record of wins in the UFC. To fight in Brazil is so good. From all my fights in the UFC, only 4 were in Brazil. I want more of them, okay? And Abel said the referee stopped it prematurely. The fight was just starting. I didn't tap. It was an unfortunate stop. It happens. The thing that sucks is, goes on your record as a loss. There's not like an asterisk that everybody gets to walk around and be like, oh, but bro, that wasn't really a
now is there a chance that they make it a no contest?
I don't think it happened to Drew Dober also before. I don't think they overturn it necessarily on that one. I can't remember.
I mean,
I don't think they would.
It's funny if you look at these two.
I don't think they would.
Here it looks like he's putting it on good, and you're right. Here it looks like he's turning out of it.
Right, and then some people were saying like, oh, but it's better to err on the side of caution. This is different from Dan Henderson, though. Taking another 5 punches to the head is a lot more dangerous than letting Abel go to sleep.
Right.
Worst case scenario.
Right.
Worst case scenario.
I just like that we can say that from the comfort of our desk.
Letting
a guy go to sleep, big deal.
Whoop-de-doo. But that was unfortunate. That was an unfortunate way to end the prelims. It's just a shame. I also appreciated Alex Oliveira's win. The other cowboy in the UFC got his knockout in the 3rd round. I like that guy. He used to be a bull rider.
First of all, he's a bull rider, and then he fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Does he know that there are easier lines of work out there?
I know.
Have you thought about being an accountant?
Right. And does he actually have brass you-know-whats? Because, I went to my first PBR show, actually, a couple weeks ago. My mom and I...
Blue Ribbon? PBR?
Professional bull riding. But I did drink a PBR, actually, I think. No, my mom and I were out in Vegas, and I wanted to go. What?
Is that an acronym that I'm supposed to know? I went.
Yes, actually.
PBR.
NFL, NBA.
PBR.
Professional bull rider.
Dude, like, legit.
Yeah,
like,
right, all right. Well, you know.
Wow. All you PBR fans out there, it's at Mind Noogie on Twitter if you want to diss him. Oh,
So,
no, dude, the PBR
so
is a
if
big
I
deal.
say TTAA, you know what that means. Table Tennis Association of America.
No, but PBR. Like,
TTAA.
Aren't you American? Like, Americans.
Table Tennis Association of
Americans
America.
know what PBR is, Pete. Good Lord.
The website.
Come on, it's PBR.
The website.
Jeez Louise. Anyway, my
I
point
can
with
show you
that
some websites that I bet you don't know the acronym for.
At any rate, yeah, there's a ton of Brazilians in the PBR.
YAG?
Oh my, young and I don't want to say what, gifted? What are they?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Young and gifted. Look it up.
Anyway, can't believe you don't know what the PBR is.
I live in a blue state. I'm in Los Angeles. Is it
You're
my
such a snob.
All right, Ken.
Literally PBR.
IHL. International Hockey League, Karyn.
Of course, HL is always going to be hockey.
All right.
Whatever.
All right.
Bellator also happened. We're in round 4 here. So Bellator happened on Friday night.
An historic night in Bellator history.
So there was some good stuff. You know, Bobby Lashley is somebody who was a wrestler, and he's had some fights, and trying to prove that he's really an MMA fighter. I covered one of his smaller fights, which he won. So he took on James the Colossus Thompson, and this was a really, really fast fight. Bobby was victorious very quickly. James, he took James down, and then you could see like James. You feel it for him, right?
Yeah, he basically broke the guy's knee.
I know. Ow.
I mean, they showed that, and his foot stayed here, and his knee went back, and it was nasty, man.
It's unfortunate because James. Actually, it was a little while back. He had put this whole thing out on Facebook, like talking about all the things he had gone through. He's really had some personal struggles, struggled a lot with some personal demons, and was excited about getting back to the game that he loves. So that was a tough out, to come back and get injured that quickly. No, it's always weird when somebody loses a fight because of an injury. It's like, well, Bobby really won. It sucks that it has to go out like that. But it was funny. I remember when James Thompson, we were doing one of the CBS fights, and he was going to be fighting Kimbo, and he came into the meeting, and his ear was huge. It was so big and swollen. We were all like, "You might want to drain that." And he was like, "No, it's good. It's good." And we we're all like, "But that's a target, right? Like that Kimbo is going to explode your ear." And sure enough,
it's never good when somebody looks at your face and says you might want to drain that.
Right? I mean, but you couldn't look at him.
You don't have the prettiest prom date where you're going, before we go out, here's your corsage, and you might want to drain that.
And a syringe, yeah. So it was tough, but
Speaking of Kimbo.
So speaking of Kimbo, they announced that Kimbo is going to be fighting.
First of all, can I just say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really did enjoy, actually, the main event.
Yes, Daniel Strauss.
It was like the first time that I felt that Bellator lived up to the hype that they, first of all, make the announcers say throughout. This historic night, a lot of historic battles have been fought in this arena.
It was good.
It was good.
And look, we have a shot of it, the hand.
It was good. But then they announced Gracie versus Shamrock 3 and Kimbo Slice versus a street fighter named Dada 5000.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. If we, I know we're jumping back and forth, but if we can talk about this for a second, I just love this picture though. It's like, I like Kimbo. What this to me is more disturbing. Hoist and Ken. That's more disturbing to me than Kimbo versus Dada 5000.
Their combined age is over 100.
Yeah.
The main event was where like Patricio.
I know.
It like was such a warrior, and then you do this.
This shouldn't happen. Ken should not fight anymore. He's past his prime. We saw what happened when he fought. He should not fight anymore. I'm sorry. And it was weird when they announced it and the crowd just kind of went.
Dada 5000 is the most anticipated fighter in MMA history.
And I like that. I want the sport to be successful. I don't care for this fight. But getting back to Daniel Strauss,
these guys,
that was a great fight. Strauss really stuck it to him for most of the fight. Late in the fifth, there was a moment where we were like, oh my God, he's not going to lose and get choked out. Right. But look at this. We have a shot. He posted this on his Instagram, how busted up his hand is after the first round, his left hand. And he said
that's broken right there.
That the doctor said, they haven't seen a break that bad. And
in the first round.
Yeah.
And he was slinging punches in the second round.
Yes.
Again, I would have quit.
I was just going to say, the quitting you.
In fact, I have a little carpal tunnel syndrome.
Do you need to go? Do we need to call some?
Ken, it's a little bit, I don't know if I should risk my career. First of all, two of the judges had a 48-47.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I forgot to record the show afterwards, so I did miss the last 3 minutes of this fight. But unless it was a 10-8 last...
you can give the last round to Pitbull, but you can't... That's ridiculous. So good for him. He's lost to him twice before, so now he gets his revenge and gets his title.
But I will say, Pitbull, still made it a fight. He was out on his feet in that second round. I have no idea how he came back.
It's a good fight. But it's time for high five. Little Borat. What do you have for us?
As you so kindly pointed out to me, Ronda Rousey is doing the remake of
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, that's right. Sorry. Blanked for a second. Roadhouse.
You got lost in Ronda Land, didn't you? Ronda Rousey.
In which she's doing she's taking over Patrick Swayze's role of Roadhouse. And that got me thinking, first of all, as I mentioned back in August, I really think that Ronda would make for an excellent Grinch. But apparently her agents at William Morris Endeavor
so uncool.
Don't see that. So then I started thinking, so Karyn, we're going to play a little game. Play a little game with you people at home, too. Where we're going to play casting agent and see how well, I've run all these by some top Hollywood casting agents.
Yes.
We're going to see how well you do and you at home do.
Okay.
Okay, so the first is...
I haven't seen these, by the way, two people, so this is new to me.
So the first is... casting male leads for a couple remakes. Okay, so we're gonna remake the 1956 classic King and I, starring Yul Brynner. We're also gonna remake the 1985 movie Teen Wolf, starring Michael J. Fox, and of course we're gonna do a live-action remake of Shrek, the 2001 animated children's comedy voiced by Mike Myers. Karyn, you have Clay Guida, Roy Nelson, Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
Cast it.
I'm going Lawler as Yul Brynner. That's a gimme. I'm going Guida as Teen Wolf and Roy Nelson as Shrek.
Bingo!
Oh,
Bingo!
Yeah, baby.
You might have a talent in this.
I might.
But let's see how you do with the women. That one was kind of easy.
Okay.
That one was kind of easy. Okay. So for the female leads... we're going to do the...
I like Bonnie.
The Schindler's List, the 1993 film starring Liam Neeson as Oscar Schindler. And then...
I have a typo, sorry.
You did. It's not Boney Hunt. It's Bonnie. I like her.
The Boney Hunt story, which is... the Bonnie Hunt story is a project that I'm trying to develop with the Oxygen Channel. The Boney Hunt story is a project that Wade is trying to develop in Chatsworth. Which is that's porn capital of the world, by the way. And then they're going to do a remake of the 1997 movie Titanic, and they're going to cast the role of the sinking boat. So we have Betch Kahea, Joanna Janjakovic, and No, I didn't get it right.
No.
Jan Jakovic, John Jakovic, the
Jan
champion.
Jacek.
Jan Jacek.
Call her Joanna Champion.
Joanna Champion and Holly Holm.
Holly Holm.
Cast it for.
This is easy. We go Joanna, Schindler's List, Holly, Boney Hunt, and Betch Kohea as the sinking ship. Yes.
There we go.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Now we're gonna throw you a little curveball.
Really, Joanna and Schindler's List, huh?
It was just, she's so thin. She's so thin, and she has that Eastern European accent, and it's so like harsh that like, listen.
She's such a badass. I love that girl.
She's such a badass, and if the Holocaust was around, she's the one who would find that piece of bread, and you'd want her on your side, man. All I'm saying.
I totally do.
She survives.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's on my team when the apocalypse comes. I'm picking Joanna Champion.
Yes.
Actually, I'm taking Lawler too. Also, from the other screen, we had Robbie Lawler's on that. He would mess up some zombies.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And he would enjoy it.
Totally.
And he would probably have like a great catchphrase too, like.
Totally.
There's only two things I like more than kicking ass and zombies. It's kicking zombie ass. I don't know. I just get a feeling that, he'd have a cool.
Oh, he would.
All right, so now we're gonna make it a little hard. Now we're gonna cast a buddy movie. So I'm gonna give you a couple teams of fighters.
Okay.
And so first we're gonna do the 1978 remake of the stoner comedy Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke.
No. Oh, Jesus.
Then we're going to do a remake of White Men Can't Jump, 1992 film starring Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. And then finally the 1994 comedy starring John Goodman and Rick Moranis, The Flintstones, with Goodman playing Fred and Rick Moranis playing Barney.
This is amazing that you have Frank Mir and Chad Mendes as Barney and Fred. That's phenomenal, okay? That is amazing. I love that so much. Obviously, John and Smile and Sam Alvey are doing White Men Can't Jump, and you gotta have Nick and Amy. That's amazing. This is amazing.
Is this good casting? Is this good casting?
And like real Hollywood, you only had one black guy in all the movies that you made. See, there was no, like real Hollywood.
And we recasted the Chinese American and the Mexican American with a couple white dudes from Stockton. So
the asses, though, they got that.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. This was worth coming to work for today, Pete. That's awesome. Okay,
so,
I love that. I think I'm working with Frank this weekend at Fox. I'll have to pitch it. I'll pitch him the idea.
We'll be called, hey, come on, we got a project for you.
I got you and Money Mendez. We got something for you. That's good stuff, Pete. I like it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the
Nicely
idea.
Done.
You did have,
I did throw that idea out to you, and you just ran with it. Nice.
But so I think listen, I think that you've proven that you can also be a casting.
I could.
I think that's pretty good.
That's good stuff. Yeah, actually, if you want to know about Roadhouse, Rhonda did a media Q&A a week and a half ago or whatever out at GFC before she left for Australia. So we actually have that on my YouTube channel, YouTube.com/Karyn Bryant. We have the whole entire Q&A with Rhonda there. It's like 45 minutes or so, but we also highlighted some things, and the talking about Roadhouse is one of them that we pulled out. So because she was saying, she's like, I want to Roadhouse. Like, she loves that movie, and she actually was working for a long time and getting it made. That was like a passion project of hers.
And apparently she talked to Patrick Swayze's widow and got permission and stuff like that. Very classic.
Yeah. So again, that clip is on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. But yeah, the whole Q&A with Rhonda is there as well. Also, Holly Holm was in town. So she and Michelle...
She is Bonnie Hunt's.
Yeah, totally. She and Michelle Watterson, the Karate Hottie, we had lunch with them. Sorry you had to miss that one, Pete. I was available. Sometimes when I don't get to go to these lunches, Pete gets to go down and just like you probably, I don't know, you probably get your fill, right? The food is good.
Yeah,
I'm sure the food is good.
Great.
I know you would probably appreciate being there for this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to take that one. But so we have this as well, and Holly obviously talking about her fight with Rhonda. Karate Hottie is going to be taking on Tisha Torres in December, so she talks about that as well. And also Uriah Hall is on the card. He's filling in for Michael Bisping. He's taking on Robert Whittaker, who it's everything I can do to not say Forrest Whitaker. Like, it's all, and my brain goes taking on Robert Whittaker. Like, I know I'm working this weekend. I know it's going to be Forrest Whitaker, and a sleepy-eyed dude is going to be up there. Who I love Forrest Whitaker, by the way. But Uriah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like Forrest Whitaker?
He's very unique. I don't know what side of the unique I fall on, but he's very unique. So I will give him that.
Fantastic in Good Morning Vietnam. He's a psycho when he plays Idi Amin.
Yeah,
like the dude is a great actor.
That's a good
He's
point.
always said nice things about you.
I would expect that.
At any rate, had a really fun talk with Uriah. We talk about his win over Gegard. We talk about what he's got upcoming, taking this fight at short notice. We talk a lot about just the evolution and in the fight game. I asked him at one point if he thinks he's making more friends or more enemies as he moves along. He's good buddies with Ronda. We talk about that, the relationship he has with Dana. What?
Just the Ronda story.
Oh, no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
He's got a funky look here. He looks like he's in a Black Eyed Peas or something. He's got the glasses.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I know. Well, I tell you what, everybody wants that hat. I got to find out where he got it. In the comments on YouTube, everybody's loving his Superman hat. It's pretty nice. It's nice.
The glasses, everything. It looks. He's looking quite hip in Hollywood.
Pulling it off.
He's looking quite hip in Hollywood, man. That was a compliment.
Still not good enough to get in one of your movies, apparently, though. So.
Karyn, first we gotta get all the Caucasians cast first.
Yeah, we gotta take care
You know the rules of Hollywood, Karyn. I don't make them.
So sad.
Listen.
So sad. Speaking of Gegard, very exciting. He will be on UFC Tonight with us this week. He rarely comes stateside. I see. Oh yes, he's over here visiting. So we may go. We're probably going out with him tomorrow. So we should have some ridiculous stories. I'm trying to go bowling. I'm trying to get us all to go bowling. Apparently, we may be doing that because I feel like we can kick his ass. It's like the one thing we could ever do. We could probably kick his ass in a bowling. I'm saying. I don't know if they bowl in Holland. I wanted to do something what we were good at.
Holland's, they're actually very scared. It's an insult to ask a Dutch person to bowl.
Is it?
Goes back to
something
pre-World War II.
All right, but he's going to be on.
Hitler used Holland as his own personal bowling.
Is that right? Okay, so also Paige Van Zant's going to be on with us on Wednesday on UFC Tonight. So I guess we got your view.
So let's tell everyone about the exciting new app where they can,
yes. I thought maybe we would talk about this in High Five, but you had a whole other thing going on, so we didn't need to. Have folks heard about the Rumbler app? And I don't know if I guess it's real. I don't know if it's real or if it's a joke, but it's basically like Tinder for people who want to meet up and fight.
Right.
So it's Fight Club meets Tinder.
Which, amazingly, apparently there's a market for that. I mean,
is there, though?
Tinder's pretty, people who want to have sex. Okay, I see the market for that.
People. Yes.
I mean, if this works, if this takes off, I think this opens up a whole, how about insulter? People who just want to, get insulted. Get insulted.
Okay, but see, let's look at this screen grab from
I guess
here.
that would be the comment section of our podcast.
Exactly. I love this screen grab because they're scheduling the fight, or you can out of your fight. But it says, bro, your face is pissing me off. Want to throw down? Hell yeah, bro. I'ma F you up. Cool. Meet me behind 5th Ave Deli parking lot tonight, 9 p.m. Done.
And then you can...
So stupid.
And then you can send this out to other people to get them to show up. And you can also use this app to find out if there's any fights in your area.
This is such a bad idea.
Dude, first of all, I mean... If this doesn't have lawsuit, I mean, is this true?
I think it's maybe real. I don't know.
I mean, that dude does look like a guy who
he needs to get beat up.
Who might be stupid enough to sign up for Rumbler.
This is a joke. The guy's in a XXL shirt with a bad gold. It's got to be a joke.
So what we're thinking, if this isn't a joke, we're going to set up a fight outside of our windows here. Not show up, but pussy out, but actually film the guy who does should show up. He's like, hey.
And I'm wondering here with this. Here's my question: can girls fight boys? Or is there like, I only pick a fight with a chick, or can I pick a fight with a dude?
There is a rumbler for chicks.
Is there?
Yeah, and then there's a group rumbler too. If you want to like
Sharks and Jets.
Yeah, which I'm sure law enforcement won't have any.
Oh yeah. Oh, Rumble Her.
Rumble Group.
Rumbler Her,
yeah.
Rumble Group.
And I'm sure law enforcement won't have problems with Rumble Group.
No. Crips and Bloods throw down behind the deli at 9 o'clock.
So if any...
so stupid.
So...
I kind of want it to be real, though, because I want to see, like, the ridiculous lawsuits and things that come out of this. This is...
I just want, like, this dude to make a mistake and see like Sam Alvey on there, be like, I can kick this guy's ass.
But when you do look at this now, it makes sense because brother over here is the one who goes, bro, your face is pissing me off. Let's be honest, we're all picking this dude because he's right. This dude's face is pissing me off too.
Sort of like Vanilla Ice Eminem wannabe.
Right, and I guarantee you, nobody who looks like Brad Pitt will be showing up in Throwdown. There will be none of that. There will be no Jared Leto's. There will be no, Come on, but how good is that movie? My God, I love that movie.
How amazing if this is true, though.
I love Fight Club so much.
Okay, so they've got one for fucking, which is popular.
They've got one for effing people up.
They got one for effing people up. We got to come up with a business opportunity here.
You think so?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Maybe we could provide the ambulatory care for, like, after Rumbler.
I think that's just the ambulance. I think they've got that covered.
We could have a specialized one.
Like, what do people like to do besides fighting and fucking?
We show fights, or we have analysts in the ambulance telling you what you did wrong in the fight on the way to the hospital. How's that? No?
I think we could film it. Maybe we take the camera down and go to a couple of these locations.
Yeah.
We got to at least see if this is real.
We got to see if it's real.
All right. In a couple of weeks, if this thing's still around and appears to be real, we got to do something.
All right.
We got to do like a high five, and we'll just take the camera down and
Or if you guys have filmed, if you really are using Rumbler, we could maybe show your footage if you actually film your own Rumbler fight.
If you have your own Rumbler fight...
Not that we're endorsing this.
We're not endorsing it. We're just going to laugh at you.
Karyn Bryant from Fox Sports 1 will come down and commentate on your street fight.
That's right. That's right. Could you imagine? Oh, my God. Do a post-fight interview. That'd actually be hilarious. So how'd you feel about what just happened out there?
I'm thinking maybe Rumbler's not a good idea.
Plus the thing is, I'm sorry, these Rumbler fights would last all of like 25 seconds. People don't understand that real fights among people who don't know how to fight don't last long and they're not pretty.
Look at this. You and Matty Ice 67 both want to throw down, start chatting to arrange a time and location, then broadcast the final fight details to draw a crowd. Hey,
Cell Block D, come on over here. We're going to throw down.
First of all, you know that Scott Coker's like, all right, Matty Ice 67, next promotion. We got Street Fighter Matty Ice 67 from Rumbler fame in this historic MMA.
It's going to be big within the penal system. We know they're sneaking cell phones in anyway. I'm telling you, Cell Block D, meet us over here. It's going to be a Rumbler group. White supremacists versus the Latin Kings.
Look, dude, this is.
Oh, it's so bad. Why didn't you think of it, Pete? That actually sounds like something so. It sounds like something so ridiculous that you would have come up with.
No, it has. I pray for humanity that this is a joke. By the way,
it is sad.
And if this isn't a joke, then I am going with my TV idea of fighting on ice. Well, which is just the NHL, actually, without the whole boring puck.
NHL, you used one of those fancy abbreviations for a league. NHL. At any rate, folks, Pete.
NFLPA.
Players Association. Jesus Christ.
I know. I was starting.
We hear a lot about the Players Association thanks to who the Cowboys are signing these days. More wife beaters. Right. Hardy, yeah.
More wife beaters or just Hardy?
Well, I'm saying there's more wife beaters in the National Felon League. That's all. Right, that's fine. Hey, guess what, though? The Patriots are 8-0. Boom! Boom!
And all we do is fool around with the air and the ball. I mean, we're pretty. How about
they're good. And the Broncos lost the other day, and I was like in the house. I was like, "Hey, wait!" I was like trying to fight and smile. Yeah, Broncos lost, baby.
Well, so
I'm like,
are the Panthers still undefeated?
Yeah, and the freaking Bengals, dude, the Bengals.
Dude,
like, come on,
listen,
come on, know your place. Know your place. You are the Bengals.
Andy Dalton's playing out of his head, but he's still a redhead. So come on.
I don't mind I actually like redheads. I'm saying it's the Bengals.
You like redheads?
I do. Yeah, always have.
Like looks wise?
Oh yeah, I've always thought redheads were cool. Yeah.
Really?
Always.
Interesting. Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You are really a minority.
I totally am.
You are a woman of color who likes redheads. That's a small little meeting group.
Yeah. Well, there's this little there's this little kid in our neighborhood who has the most beautiful copper orange hair. He's adorable. Such a cute little kid. But yeah, no, I like red hair. I do.
Hey, Peter, you down with the EIB?
Oh no.
EIB, hold on.
What the hell is this?
Education International
You don't
Bureau?
know the EIB? Let me show you.
Oh my God, we gotta wrap this up. This is gonna get ridiculous now. What is the
The EIB.
Oh no.
Extreme Ironing Bureau.
So is he on an ironing board?
He's wakeboarding while he's ironing?
Yeah. While he's ironing.
Oh my God. Just to get a man to iron though, that's pretty fantastic. I gotta give him credit.
There is a wife laughing her ass
off. Baby, do it again.
You know what?
Let's see if you can go longer.
I just told him it was the latest danger sport that combines the thrill of extreme outdoor activity with the satisfaction of a well-pressed shirt. Okay, obviously this is bullshit. But yes. The guy's like, I did 5 shirts and starched.
Oh my goodness, that's stupid. Polo, we like
the
polo.
Modified form.
We like polo. All right, anyway, we're getting ridiculous. So, Pete, where can people find you?
I'm amazed if anyone is still watching.
My God.
If you are, God bless you. People can find me at Mind Noogie.
Mind Noogie. That's on Twitter. Did you start an Instagram account or anything?
I don't really think people want to see photos
of your life. It would be sad. It would be sad.
Like, what about
dejected kids on the soccer field after they lost again?
Here's me, still haven't made it. Here's the food I'm eating as I continue to not make it. Here's my teeth brush as I brush the food out of my not made it teeth yet. I don't know. What would I give pictures of?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. What does a high old guy like?
What do you do pictures of? Here's me on the set.
Sometimes we do stuff on the set. Sometimes I do stuff if we're out. Yeah, like at the fight. Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's like cute pictures of the dog. Sometimes it's.
Oh, I do have a little bit of a. So my kids' soccer team is getting crushed.
Right.
I have been reprimanded a bunch of times for running down the sidelines yelling instructions. However, I told you that one of the other team's coaches is Ziggy Marley, and another team's coach is Will Ferrell.
Really? Oh, no.
So I've gotten to do a little star spotting.
So, yeah, well, Will Ferrell had that movie, too, where he played the soccer coach. Yeah, no, here's my Instagram. It's me and Eve Edwards in a nice bow and arrow shirt I gave him, Bruce Lee. There we are at the set. Here's our little pup in the bath. Here's me with the fighter and the kid, guys. We did a tough talk the other day, and so they were on with me. Holly Home. Then there's the video of my one-on-one show with Ioana on J-Check. That was great. Here's our Halloween pumpkins, just good stuff.
So I could do that one. Of course, my pumpkins weren't as well carved, so there's a couple
I
think I could come up with something more interesting than that.
No, well, that's a video where we were playing that game with the Jelly Belly. The come on. Sometimes they taste gross, and sometimes they're the real flavor. Oh. And you have to spin it. It's Bean Boozled. So here, watch. Yeah. So I got one, and the Munchkin gave me one. I was supposed to do either and I got one that tasted disgusting. And then she got one that was fine, so she was good.
My mistake. I thought that was a boring video. No, that's fast. No, I do like your reaction.
Same thing I do every day I leave here. I'm like, I had to work with Pete again. So,
I like my privacy, Karyn.
You can. You can find me on Instagram at KB Heat, on Twitter as Karyn Bryant, also on YouTube, Karyn Bryant. Find our MMA Heat Facebook page. And like I said, we've got a lot of stuff up with Ronda, a lot of stuff with Holly, and we have Uriah Hall, and I'll be doing UFC tonight. I think we have Tough Talk this week, and then weigh-in shows and fight night. So
odds for the fight this week, you said 16-1?
Ronda, I think, was a 16-1, and Joanna was 20-1, it looked like. So far right now, these are the bets. They say on Joanna, you bet $100, you win $4.
First of all, do you know how hard it is for me to explain? I had to turn down an invitation this weekend, and to explain to non-UFC fans, I'm like, yeah, because I got to go watch a bunch of women fight. To non-UFC fans, sounds luckily Ronda's big enough, where you can say, hey, I'm seeing, Ronda Rousey. But other than that, to non-UFC fans, they're like, that's really strange. What
did you turn down? What was the offer?
The offer was a music jam party. In the Valley. I think we know why I don't have an Instagram account.
That sounds
Dude, I just watched a video of you eating a friggin' jelly bean, okay? So my music jam party beats your jelly bean.
But you don't play music, your wife does.
I was going to be doing the jam part.
No, you'd be getting snacks.
Recorder?
What's that?
Bring your own recorder?
Hey, hot cross buns, 3 blind mice. I do them all, Wade. I do them all.
Hi, old guy.
I do a little medley.
In the corner with the snacks at the jam party.
Why don't you show us another video of you eating a jelly bean?
Thanks for watching, you guys. You can find this on iTunes as well. And we'll be back next week. Right?
And
with the Ronda aftermath and the jam, or unless you go to see the jam party instead.
Jelly bean. We watched jelly bean.
A lot of people found that.
On behalf of MMA Heat Podcast, I want to apologize for the 15 seconds of jelly bean eating that you had to endure.
I think we actually need to bring that here next week.
Yes, maybe we need to
And
play.
for those of you who are listening to us on audio, count yourselves lucky.
We may need to play it. Well, thank you for watching this, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, we're going to end already? Wait, I had 3 more points. No.